and welcome to episode 3 of Sorry You're a Lot. Episode 3.
That's actually mental.
That's wild. Who are we?
I feel like we haven't actually published 3 though. Like I feel like we've actually just published the first one and then just dropped off the rest of the app. Even though I know that's not true.
What makes you think that?
I just haven't put enough energy into it this week. I've like dropped it. We've like dropped the second episode and I've just gone like to work.
It is only Tuesday.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Also it was like Eid and then I had
Cat hair.
I was like from filming, I was then working to dropping to fasting.
Well,
we
recorded quite late.
Now recording again.
We recorded quite late last week, and then obviously we're early in this week, so that also probably squidges the feelings. But you talking about fasting and eating,
Yeah.
Eating, can we make that a verb? Probably not. Celebrating Eid.
No, I like eating.
Eating.
Because also people will just like, will mumble that and people will be like, you're eating what?
Because obviously a little bit of what we talked about last week was you, sorry.
Sorry, I'm like, it's the cats.
It's the cats. I also just drank cat hair if it makes you feel better.
No, because this was your choice.
Did you see it?
Anyway, sorry, yeah, we were eating.
So you've eated this weekend.
And you did.
But in last week's episode, you talked really briefly in our big chaotic episode of not feeling like you belong.
Of all the big things.
Very briefly, you mentioned not feeling Muslim enough sometimes.
Yeah.
And do you want to talk a bit more about that? Just because...
About not feeling Muslim.
Sorry, so context. I've had a couple of comments of people that listen to episode 2 tell me how interesting it is that they never hear anything about that kind of feeling of not feeling Muslim enough. And
Okay.
it's kind of come from a place because they are...
Hi, fans.
They're also Muslim in
Yeah.
it, but I probably think it's probably relatable to any religion, right? Like,
Yeah.
because obviously the scale from like not religious to like orthodox is this massive.
And I guess also as well, right? Like I don't know. Obviously, I just want to get your opinion on it because obviously as well, right? I've never really been like religious.
What do you mean?
Like as in like it's only been in the last maybe like 10 years that it's been like a conversation and that like before. Do you know what I mean? Whereas like growing up I was like
I don't know.
I knew there was like I felt that there was an entity, but I didn't ever say like, oh, I'm Christian or I'm like.
I feel like
even though I
the
say
two of us, you're definitely the religious one, always have been.
I just because I didn't really dismiss it. Whereas you're like, oh God, you were like, absolutely not.
Although, interestingly, not that my coaching is at all like woo-woo, as people say, but as I've got older, I don't believe in God still. So I don't believe in God still. But I do believe in this universal power.
Don't you think though? Sorry, I don't want to get like preachy. But like, doesn't it like make sense? Like there's so many like if you think about like the human body, right?
It does
like,
not make sense at all to me.
The system of the human body is absolutely like sublime, like it's like crazy, like the systems that you have, like your your intestines, your heart, like I've just touched the heart, the functions that everything has, like it's like a designable system.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear what you're saying.
Even like the bees, and like, do you know what I mean?
I hear what you're saying.
Obviously, you don't have to believe in God.
My problem.
One day, you will come over to us.
My problem is if there is a God, if everything is designed, if
what are you going to do about like why do kids have hand cancer?
not even,
'Cause I
just,
get that a lot.
just in general, why is there suffering? Why is...
Everyone has free will. That's the problem.
If
There should be
if
billionaires.
God has designed this world, why is Gaza being ransacked?
Yeah.
Why is Sudan starving? Why
100%.
is there massive civil war? Like,
Because it's come from godless people. Because, like, we have free will.
but if
Like, I
there-
know this is going to be a random big topic for like episode 3, but like everyone has free will, right? So the people that are doing these things aren't like,
sure,
because if you look at like, okay, I'm going to go from it from like Islamic perspective, right? If you go on it like through us, we're not supposed to go on like interest, like we're not supposed to live on interest. We're supposed to give to charity. We're supposed to, you know, like hang out with our neighbors. We're supposed to fast. We're supposed to feel what it's like to be poor. We're not supposed to say bad things. We're not supposed to do bad things. We're not supposed to kill people, hurt people. So like, if you were to be like an Islamic perspective, even like, because you know we're an Abrahamic religion, so this also goes for like Christianity as well and Judaism. So like, in that aspect, you're not supposed to.
my problem is if this is a world created by this higher being that has so much love for us,
He does.
why why are things the way they are? Do you know what I mean? And sure, go, you know, free will, and stuff like that. But it doesn't make sense to me that the world has been designed with this overwhelming bad in it.
I think I get what you're saying, and I think that's why a lot of people don't classify themselves as religious, purely for that reason.
Like I can't.
But you know, obviously, come from very different perspectives.
Sure.
He's watching us. He is watching. But obviously, there's like
I'm watching
there's the
you.
He's watching you. There's like obviously there's like we say like there's shaitan. There's like you know. There's a lot of different things go into it. Also, we do have free will, and there's a certain amount of control that there can be without also then not having free will anymore. Do you know what I mean?
So obviously, I know very fundamental, basic things about Islam. I didn't really see this episode going this way.
I didn't either. All of a sudden, I'm like, I don't really know enough. I'm only a year old.
Just sweating.
I'm only a new one.
I'm just a
There's gonna
baby.
be mothers in the comments. There's gonna be still watching this later and just got notes.
So the suffering is because we have free will, and like
not just because,
but like people out there are doing the shit they want to
Yeah.
do because they want to do it.
Yeah.
In Islam, is there destiny? So do we decide for ourselves, or is it inevitable that...
It's mixed. So it's to an extent.
Because I think in Christianity, right, it's like God's plan. Everything is kind of like set out for us, which is kind of
I
destiny.
believe, but you know, anyone listening, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that there's like a trajectory for your life, but
Okay.
there's like things that can corrupt that line, like shaitan, or like
Okay,
depending on who gets involved in your life and who.
so there's a plan for your life,
Yeah.
but anything can come in and fuck that.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's also a thing about if you just to get ready out really quickly, like if you die, like at any like young, like perhaps like even if you supposedly get super sick and you die, it's it could be, they say that it's saving you from something that really bad could be happening. So it's almost like taking you out to paradise, because obviously that's
The old.
where you want to be.
Yeah.
So it's taking you away from like suffering. That's why actually a lot of people have reverted to Islam since October 7th, purely because they can see like the Palestinians like and their faith that they have, and how it's like they're still praying and they're still fasting, and they're obviously, you know, it's not always option. It's not always like actual wanting to fast, but like having to, there'll be stuff, but like their
Fasted
dedication
versus
to
starvation.
their religion. I keep touching the mic. I'm so sorry, people. like their dedication to their religion and dedication to their faith. So like a lot of people have seen that as like an inspiration, and have referred. Others have gone the opposite, and they've been like, absolutely not.
I'm out.
You guys are dumb. Why are you still following a religion that's not?
It's really interesting because I guess in this like vibe I have of like the universe, karmic balances, what goes around comes around. I believe in doing good for just, good sake, but also just, you know, having the nice energy about you that will come back and do its thing. I believe if you're a shitty person, that's what's going to come back to you. And I kind of believe, I guess, that it's all kind of checks and balances. So, you know, at the moment, I've been like, well, don't know what work's going to be like. You know, going through massive shifts in my business. I don't really know what's going to kind of be there in 6 weeks' time. But I really trust that the universe kind of has me.
Yeah.
Based on past experience and a lot of the work that I've put in myself. Obviously.
Yeah, 100%. It's a lot of it is you.
So I trust that the universe is just doing its thing. But it's but I don't see it as this
Yeah. I get you.
being.
I get you.
I see it, you know, in Pocahontas.
Where the wind blows. Do you know what then? A lot of people have an issue.
So, you know when, she's singing the song?
Yeah.
And like...
But like a lot of people have issue with it though.
The tree comes to life.
Yeah.
Things are like blowing around.
Grandmother Wind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grandmother Wind? Grandmother Willow?
Grandmother Willow, but with her wind.
Yeah. Grandmother Wind.
Because it's the wind blowing and then because of old lady farts. Yes, that's not what we believe. In Islam, it's just grandmother shit.
So.
Oh god. Oh no.
Oh my gosh. So, you know in Pocahontas, you know when the wind's doing its thing?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about the universe.
So happy for you. I think also, right, that a lot of people feel the same. And I think also, this is not on you, by the way, I'm not saying this to you, but like a lot of people as well have a hard time thanking someone or something else for like their successes. Like I see there's a lot of people who are like, well, no, it's my hard work. This wasn't you, by the way, but it's like it's my hard work and my, like, you know, everything that I've done that's got me to this point. It's not an ulterior. It's not like decided for me already. Like it's all me. Whereas obviously, like I believe there's like opportunities that were given, things that have happened in like to get you to that point, right? Like getting into the uni that you need to get into, or you know, even okay, like for instance, right? The kind of thing about they say about Islam, right, is that like to get you back to the religion, God will like show you a sign almost. Okay. Like you'll maybe like be scrolling on TikTok and there'll be like a random video of like a river or like a Quran or something, do you know what I mean? And then it's the same as like maybe you're going in you're in a library and all of a sudden there's a Quran, do you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. And then it's like what you do after that. And I think there's like three times that it happens. Okay. Like, and then by the third time, if you're like, absolutely not, God, it's not happening.
Done with you.
He's like, astaghfirullah, see you later. Like, yeah. So I think, so like I see that almost like why Sahel and I got together was to get me there.
That's wild.
Because obviously no one actually knows my origin story. But like I only started researching Islam and looking into Islam because Sahil was Muslim. I didn't revert because of Sahil, but I started looking into it and reading about it because I knew that's what he was into. That's what he followed. So I was like, because it's like,
Yeah, it is what Sahil's into.
like interest, right? So it's like, okay, like, but why? Like, I need to know, like, kind of why he followed a set amount of rules, why he did things. Like, I was still drinking. I was still like there's just so many like reasons that have made me get disappointment. And obviously, you know, we've been together 8 years now, and I reverted last year, which is wild. But yeah, so anyway, to answer your question, do I feel Muslim enough? After this conversation, yes. I feel like now I am basically pro. But I don't know, I'm still having the conversation with myself about like the headscarf is kind of something that I'm not, I don't know. It's not that I'm not on board with what it is and what it represents. It's 100% like the fear of like confrontation, judgment, which I shouldn't let affect me because obviously it's not for anybody else. But it's just like...
But this fear...
Even like the ease of it. Do you know what I mean? Like being at home and then like the postman knocks and you've got like... like frantically like headscarf up. Sounds terrible. But like generally like it's like a whole thing. So yeah.
I guess... So that fear of like judgment rocks up everywhere though, right? Like, I mean, this is such a...
Have you jumped? Where we're going with this one? I like the leapfrog.
It's a big thing I see in my clients creating content.
Yeah.
Everyone knows how to do social media.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone knows
it's the judgment.
How to market their business, how to market their thing. They know that they need to, you know, create valuable content. They know to post it on Instagram. And I think most people know that if you do it for 100 days, your 100th post, you're going to learn a lot along that way.
Yeah.
People know how to post and they come to me saying, oh, I don't know how to do social media. They know how to do social media. What they actually want is to show up without being seen.
Yeah.
Because they're scared of being judged.
Yeah.
They're scared.
Because people are mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, it's not necessary. I'm not scared of strangers.
No.
Like all the time. Like sometimes I'm scared of strangers. But I mean, like even it can be like fear of like our family. It's our family.
But I mean, this is a big change, right? You've lived your life for almost 30 years in one way.
Yeah.
They know you in one way.
Like last week was the first time I prayed outside the house here.
Oh,
like anywhere.
I was like, what?
No, like outside. It's like the first time I prayed outside the house. Like.
So you had to do it with Lola in your face.
Hey, she wanted the blessings. She felt it. She felt the energy. But like, even just like saying, oh, I need to like, I felt like inconvenient. Like, and it was quite, like, I know that it's not like you were making me feel inconvenient, but in my head, obviously, you know, tell me to call that shit down is whispering to get really gaudy on you. But like, even then I felt awkward being like, oh, I'm just going to go and do that. Or like even like shutting off like it wasn't even like I was shutting off the room because like, you know, the world can carry on, but like even just having to go and like do that. There's
enough rooms in this flat.
All right,
for
Maggie.
you to... Sorry,
I just got all of this space.
I've got 4
we
rooms.
live in London, but we've got all of this space.
I've got 4 rooms. You can pray in any of them.
Thank you so much. But do you know what I mean? Like it's like it's a weird thing, and also obviously there's set times to do it as well, right? So like, and a certain amount of time to like do that prayer. So like, even having to arrange days around it.
Did you feel like you came in like,
I need to pray? Like that was kind of
like you're on like this, you're like head down on a task, like I've got to get.
Yeah, 100%. And I was like, because also I will forget, because obviously it's not second nature to me yet.
Yeah.
So like, I will forget, and then I feel really guilty later.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, hey, how you doing? I'm sorry, I forgot that one. I'll do it now. But like, even then it just, felt like inconvenient. And it's like judgment of like family, because obviously it's a big change. And obviously it's quite an obvious change. And then also from other people, as in like that label that I was talking about before, like just slapping that on. We're gonna have to like title this like interview reverb because I feel like that's where this has gone. So that's how this but like episode 3, let's talk about big stuff.
Kate's a reverb.
So reverb.
I just went silent because I'm like, okay, shift.
We've eated.
Shift to the conversation.
But we eated.
We eated.
I still feel
I didn't
judgment.
eat it.
I feel Muslim, but maybe still not Muslim enough to wear the headscarf and things. Like even just like saying assalamu alaikum to other Muslim people, like obviously Muslim people, and if they don't say it back, I'm like, okay, I'm just doing this. And I didn't know this was a universal thing until I was on TikTok, and there was like other Muslim reverts, and they were talking about it and how like you like finally get the confidence to say like assalamu alaikum to like another like hijabi, and then they don't say it back. You're like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna go over here with my bosom self. Like that's the vibe. How do you feel about me being Gotti?
Well, like I said, out of the two of us, I feel like you've always been the Gotti one.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was the opposite way around, I'm not gonna lie.
No, you didn't.
I thought Prezi was gonna revert first. She has her questions all the time.
But out of the two of us, you didn't think I was the more Gotti one.
No, but you've always been like spiritual.
Gotti one.
You've always been like spiritual though.
Sure.
So like, and I don't know, I went through like so much rebellious stuff, and even when I was drinking a lot and like, I was a bit mental for a long time.
Sure. Well, we all though.
I don't know, I don't see you that way.
You weren't
I don't
there.
I don't see you as like,
You weren't there.
I've seen,
Okay, I was being sick.
because also you don't touch that.
Scott gets to deal with that now.
Yeah, that was fun. I'm envious.
So I'm just. Do you know what? I'm gonna just embarrass myself now.
Okay, right.
Straight up. We're all friends here, right?
Oh, friend.
We're all friends here.
Yeah.
So Scott and I have been together 8 years, and I'm very funny about us seeing each other poo.
Fair.
So
I'm very fun about you two seeing me.
so we pee with the door open,
Yeah.
but
I can't do that.
pooing is a closed door situation.
Okay.
Which
Which I feel like.
when we didn't have water for a few
Fine.
days, do you remember like back in April or something?
Yeah.
We had no water for a couple of days.
Yeah.
I was very conscious that Scott was gonna now, because we couldn't flush the toilet.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Really wasn't piecing that together. And
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, but why was you going to have to shit relevant? Like, I was like, where have we got?
And I was saying, and so then Scott and I were talking about this lovely hotel that we were staying in Lisbon a couple of years ago. Stunning hotel. There's like,
Oh my God, is it the clear screen one?
yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Okay.
So we've got like the spa in the roof. So we're looking across Lisbon in this like stunning spa, you know, swimming at midnight, looking over brilliant. But in the room, the toilet and the shower were in these like clear tubes.
I just don't get
It was very weird. It was very weird. Apparently it's very European. But anyway, so I navigated that at the time by like, okay.
Until recently, we were also European.
But I mean,
Still don't think it was normal.
on the continent. But I navigated it at the time like, okay, we'll play music and
Yeah.
the other will just turn around or be distracted when it's pooing time.
You just put toilet paper down.
And that's actually seeing poo. Like seeing you poo. Because
Yeah, but it's not.
I don't know, I feel really weird about sitting on the toilet for like 3 minutes and Scott's just like, she's pooing. I feel really weird about it. I feel really, really...
I was really proud that you said 3 minutes though. I was like, good job with you. And you're like...
I feel really sweaty just
Because I
talking
see all
about...
the time online when they're like, oh, mum was in the room for 40 minutes.
That's a man thing. They're not
what are you doing?
Scott's sending me like 15 reels.
I'm sorry, anyway, yeah. So you felt really weird about him.
So yeah, blah, blah, blah. Then when we were like walking... So we saw Tajik on Sunday night. And on the way there, Scott was like, oh, wouldn't it be lovely to go back to like Lisbon? And we were talking about like, we'd go back to that hotel maybe for like a week. And then for like a week, we'd go to like
I'll go there again.
the Algarve. No, so like, I was like, oh, but like, wasn't it good how we like navigated? This is a really long story to get to one particular. And I was like, well, we're really good at like navigating the like pooing situation. And he was like, it's really not that big of a deal. And I was like, what do you mean it is? And he was like, love, I've seen you like run in for the bathroom to like projectile vomit all over the bathroom door.
Stunning.
He was like, I've seen you pee in whilst you throw up while you had COVID. He was like, I don't think.
Also, just want to end the opposite as well. You're not just here doing all these gross things.
No, I am.
Is Scott not doing any gross things?
No.
I don't believe that.
Scott's not done a single gross thing.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I just think you haven't realised it. I just don't.
It's just me.
I do think that you're just focused on the fact that
No.
that you were doing all these gross things. And
No.
you're just really paranoid about it.
No.
Because he's a boy.
Scott's never thrown up on the wrong side of the bathroom.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you for a second. I believe you for a second.
Just me.
That I don't believe you.
And Scott's never wet himself whilst throwing
But
up.
also, to be fair, you've been ill quite a lot.
And that was why I had COVID.
Like,
The first time back in
I feel like it's not that you just got like drunk and you're just there like every weekend.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sloppy. I'm sick.
Yeah, it's just because you're ill, like actually ill.
Yeah.
So that's less than ideal.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Scott thinks pooing in front of each other should not be a big deal.
Yeah, I in theory don't think it should be. Equally, if I had the choice, I'm doing it in private. But also, I don't know if that's like now I just want to do everything in private because I have a kid and who's always there like, what are you doing?
Where are you
What are you
going?
doing now? Like back in the day, I used to poo on my own. No doors open. No, mummy, do you want to build a snowman? No. So yeah, I don't. Yeah, but also I just. Why do you want to? Not saying you want to.
Well, I don't
I'm
want
saying,
to.
like, because there's people who will be
Why
like,
does Scott want to?
come and hang out in the bathroom and whilst I poop, and I'm like, why are people doing that?
Like, I can handle people like, I've got friends who are maybe listening and know who they are, who will like send me like voice notes and messages whilst they're pooing.
Yeah, but it's not like you hear like,
No.
you know what I mean?
No.
Like they're probably pausing it when it's
Yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, like, and that's fine.
Yeah, but that's fine for me.
How
as
did
well.
we go for being...
So Rosariva, who poos on her own and has as dolls that wants to.
Yeah.
I don't know. It shouldn't be a big deal. But also, isn't there like a whole thing about it fine as well?
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel that same way. I mean, it's embarrassing. It is embarrassing. I do get really red and like...
Oh, I'm like not there anymore. But also, because of the kid, at one point I was just sitting at the bar in like the hospital just
She's
popping.
like sitting in the party.
Yes.
I was sitting in the party, boom bow,
Oh, I was sitting
vagina
in the hospital, like just my gown was just covering my stomach, and for no reason apart from the fact that I was trying to breastfeed. So I was just there like, and then just doctors in and out.
So every other time you was out,
Literally,
you're breastfeeding.
vag out. Just like, oh, I was so out of it.
We better cover the belly for like...
No, it was because I'd had the robe on,
Oh,
and then I was sitting like that, and so the dress had come out, the gown had come up, and then obviously breastfeeding just tits out, so it just ended up there. It's not like I was like, don't look at me, I'm
Don't look at my
shy.
belly.
Like that's just ended up how it was. But generally, I was just sitting there like, and I think that's where I kind of just went, because up until that point, no farts. But up until that point,
Yeah, no one's changed
I
you.
think that was the, probably the grossest thing for being. Like, no shower, no sleep, gross, milk, blood, and gross things on me. Hella had a shower in hospital.
I'll see a bit sweaty.
Student doctors kept coming and visiting me. Woo! Yeah, then I'm still not here yet. I'm like, you should buy her.
You had her. She came out of my tummy.
Yeah, we play. It's like, right, here, who wants you? Why are you in my house?
I had a cesarean. Why are you looking at my vagina?
Why are you in my house? I went home ages ago. She's 3. This was last week. But yeah, I don't know. You should be able to be in front of your partner.
Should you?
You should be able to. I don't say you should.
Well, okay, if I had to, if there was a crisis, if we were locked in the bathroom and I needed to anxiety poop, I could.
No, I don't think you would. I think you'd
Lock up.
shit yourself.
No, because that's worse. That's more embarrassing.
I think you'd hold it so long that your body was like, get out.
No, that would be.
And then you would just carry it. It would be like bridesmaids. Across the street. And then you're like, oh no, oh no,
shit in the street.
oh,
Shit
no.
in the street.
Yeah, basically. That's what I think is going to end up happening.
No.
Not going to end up happening. Would have ended up happening if you were locked in a situation. Anyway.
Should we move on?
Yeah, we probably should, because this is a very weird conversation. What other big tongues did we show? Oh yeah, 90s babies. That's it. What other topics did we see? I think when I say like 90s babies, right, I just mean like, it could even be 80s. It could be just like pre-90s, pre-2000s.
I think really it's probably born in like 80. You would probably.
I feel like it's up until like early 2000s.
Because I guess I say this because although we were born in the 90s.
Yeah, we were raised in.
We were raised in the 90s.
In the noughties.
Well, still the 90s.
Late 90s, yeah.
But like, so Scott's 87 and I'm 90.
It's like, I took that as age.
Yeah.
Like, he looks good.
Scott was born in 1987
Yeah.
and I was born in 1990. But like, those 3 years give him so much more living memory of the 90s than I do. Than I have.
I just can't remember my childhood. So even if I was probably 87, I'm probably not.
You're still gone.
Also, I can't even add Seal into this conversation because he was born in 79, but also born in North Africa. So I feel like it's a completely different experience.
Yeah.
And also, like, he's probably not thinking, like, whoa, the UK and the 90s.
What's a Spice Girls doing? Wow, they were really fat phobic in the 90s.
Crazy. What, like Union Jack dress?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't believe Jerry broke up the Spice Girls. Yeah.
Ginger. Yeah, he's probably not thinking those things. He was just like pro football. But yeah, so like he has 3 years more.
So yeah, there's just stuff that he remembers so much clearer than I do.
But also, do you think that's because like you have an ADHD brain?
But we think Scott does.
Oh, that's true.
And to prove this, in the middle of Todrick Hall,
What was he doing?
so we're like, okay, so it's much more of a party than I was expecting.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
Todrick Hall?
I don't know
What
what I
was
was.
you
I
expecting?
don't know. I thought like a sit down show.
Todrick Hall?
I know. It was.
Okay, sorry. But carry on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was a stand up and dance type thing. Do you know what's also really nice? Is like, I'm so self-conscious in so many ways. But being like sober, making a fool of fun of myself in front of strangers that I'm never going to see again does not bother me.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I say I agree, but I'm
Like,
just equally self-conscious in all situations.
no, it's
Like, I think my ADHD takes over and I just go like too much.
mine like rocks up in certain times for me. Like,
Anytime there's someone I don't normally talk to.
well, like Sunday night, I was still on antibiotics and like the big drugs, still on the codeine, not like the big drugs, for clarity.
Sure.
So I
Do
couldn't.
you want to tell the internet?
So I wasn't drinking, and I don't know if I would have been drinking anyway on a thing on a Sunday. Yeah. But so like I'm dancing and I'm just drinking like elderflower fizzy. I'm like dancing, having the best time. Like,
But also, is that just think the vibe anyway?
well, the vibe. I was there with Scott. Like,
Yeah.
I had space. So like there was no one sat either side of us. My coat, like there was no one sat directly in front of us. My coat was over the chair in front of me.
Oh, wow.
I was living my best life. I didn't have to carry my drink. I could put it down beside me. So there was like...
Just because you're talking about concerts and my initial brain has done things, I almost got Sahil to come to a concert with me. Like this close.
Which one?
Saint Laurent.
Wow.
Do you like Saint Laurent?
We've had this conversation. Yeah.
Oh. Basically,
So you were going to choose Sahil?
well, like, to be fair, it could have been like a Taylor Swift situation where, like, if you couldn't come.
No, it's too late for that.
Anyway, but I'm sorry, mate.
Anyway.
It's a big thing for Sahil to just say yes to going out.
He was going to go?
Yeah. But then basically there was no normal seats left because it's only so it's in like Manchester and it's like Kentish Town. And like...
Is it in at Kentish Town Arena? Whatever, the O2 there?
Yeah. But there was like 3 tiers and it was like the normal one was like £30 ticket. Stunning. And then the next one, they were sold out. And then the next one was like VIP and then like really VIP. And it was like £100 and then £300.
Okay, yeah.
Because the £300 was like a meet and greet.
Okay.
So like, I was like, I can't, there's no way I could go to the £100 one. Like,
Yeah.
do you want a VIP? You get like merch, but like he would be like, no.
Yeah.
Also, I think then the VIP was like in the middle bit, which was standing. I could have persuaded him for a sit down seats. But anyway, I said I want to come into the UK. But
So yeah, we're at Todrick. We're like dancing away.
vibing.
Because, you know, I've been going through the process of getting diagnosed for a really long time now.
Yeah, all of the things.
Yeah. It's taken like... Well, it was this time last year that my referral was made.
Sugar.
Yeah. But Psychiatry UK are just so oversubscribed.
Well, they shut.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I think like a week after you put
No, August 30th. I got in like 2 full months before. But obviously I was in the time of them being so oversubscribed that they've had to close.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've just been caught in the process.
I was still 5 years in.
Yeah, you took
Yeah.
much longer. But yeah, so we're like dancing and I just like, and so Scott's been, I think, a bit of a journey alongside me of this, like, is it ADHD? And I think...
Or is it just anxiety?
But yeah, like,
Yeah.
what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
And I think that one. Why am I sadder than excited?
Is it ADHD or just depression? Yeah. I like the one that's like, is it ADHD or is it just trauma? That's the fun one.
Yeah, that's
But that's just a standard for a lot of people.
yeah. Like, oh, am I fucked up, or was I born this way?
Could have been both.
Anyway.
Oh, vibing.
So yeah, so Scott's been on like this journey alongside with me, and like he's never straight up said to me, "Oh yeah, you have ADHD."
Really?
No.
But it's so obvious.
But so like,
I could have told you that.
so we're like dancing at Patrick, and then just like in the middle of it, I
How did you just tell them?
so I
Just shut you down.
I've just turned to him and been like, "Do you think I have ADHD?" And he was like, "Yeah, I think we both do." And I was like, "Okay, cool."
And then did you swing back around later to be like, oh my God.
No, it was I don't know, I think, so Todrick's on stage, and then there's this like light, there was kicks, there was like,
You do was he the one that did like mask, gloves, whatever, during COVID?
there was loads of different renditions of that song. So I knew the original, my hair hips, no, my
You knew the
hair,
original?
yeah. It keeps going out of my head as I go to sing it.
One.
My hair, anyway, no, my no.
The original?
The original. And then there's like, it's been made into so many different versions.
Yeah.
And he like had a clip of like all of these different versions of that rank. Yeah. And then the original.
And so basically Scott thinks you have ADHD?
Yeah.
You both do?
Yeah. But yeah, so in the middle of the show, there was loads of lasers. And I was like, oh my God, the girls will be going mental right now.
They would be.
And I was just like, why has my brain pulled me off here? And then that was when I said to Scott, do you think I'm ADHD?
I love the different, because I think that's what our podcast is, right? Is the journey that our brain is on.
Mm-hmm.
So like, me and you have a really easy, I feel like we have a really easy conversation, a really like easy way of tracking each other. Like we know how we get to places. We've also got to a point where we explain how we got to places if someone is stumped, right? Whereas trying to have this conversation with a neurotypical, like trying to have any conversation with a neurotypical, I feel like it's like pulling teeth. Sorry, Mike. Because it's like pulling teeth, like having conversations with you, it's like, where, how?
Well, yeah, because my brain, I've
I'm
always described it as having loads of like tabs open.
oh yeah.
And I'll just come back to
Someone's
them.
playing music somewhere.
Yeah, but like I'll just come back to it. So like, you know, at 4:00 this morning we talked about what we want to have for dinner, and I'll just, oh, the tab's back open.
Yeah,
So do you want to have spaghetti?
Yeah.
And someone will be like, they'll either be like, yeah, or they'll be like, where did that come from?
100%. I strongly agree with everything you just said.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the best way to explain it. And I feel like it's like a over-explained version. Like I feel like that's the way that a lot of people with ADHD just explain their brain, is like having loads of tabs open, and they're like, someone is playing music, someone is trying to diagnose your sibling.
That's just you.
I am Dr. Google.
Yeah,
And
Dr. Google is just one of your
a lot of the time. So Dr. Google, because I cross-check. I don't go to like the first one that's like you're dying. I verify if you're dying or not.
Yes, yeah.
And then obviously most of the time you're not, so I go back and I'm like, okay, start again. And I just Google different. Anyway.
Anyway.
I have a lot of tabs open as well, and I think desperately trying to keep to one tab is so difficult.
Yeah.
Like, and just trying to have a conversation with someone where you only like, and also because right, I need to say it right then and there, purely just because I like, otherwise I'm gonna forget it, or I'm not gonna pick it up. Or...
If I don't say it out loud,
yeah,
I'm holding it in my brain so that I don't forget it.
I'm not listening to
and now I'm not
saying.
listening to you.
It's
because
I'm
like, okay, just wait for a gap to say the thing that you're holding on to.
And it's like that. It's
Oh,
like a sneeze.
I was like, are you going to sneeze?
No. It's like, you know, you just there, you're like, okay. But also, again, you've been trained for so long to how to have a conversation. So you're trying to make eye contact with someone. You're trying to have like I've had so many comments. I think in the last year, I've had so many comments of people being like, oh, you don't make eye contact. And it's such a weird thing to me because I'm like, it's so like the message surrounding neurodivergence, right, is so like out there now. I think it's like it's mentioned in like especially in like corporate situations, it's mentioned all the time now because they're like, again, ticking that box, right?
Look out for them.
Yeah, look out for those guys. They're not looking you in the eye, so make sure you look out for them. But it's like mentioned so much that people are like, oh, whatever. But it's also meant that now people are just looking out for those signs, and now they're making it really obvious. Like I've had some people who are like, oh, well, you're not making eye contact. Why are you looking at me? Or they'll, oh my God, I hate it. When they're like, oh, like I'm talking to you and I'm like this, and they'll go like this. Like they'll look around, I'm like, I'm not looking at anything. Stop, because now I'm looking at what did you see? And I'm looking in the distance, and it's mentioned, and it's awkward because I'm like, okay, now do I go into a whole conversation about how I have ADHD and how if I'm making eye contact with you, I'm not listening to you. If I'm not making eye contact with you, I'm most likely listening to you. Do I now go off on that tangent? Or am I just like, oh, sorry, something distracted me?
I think like
Because everyone rolls their eyes as well, by the way. When I say ADHD, they're like, oh, okay, another one.
Another one.
Another one bites the dust.
Another one.
Well, that's why you're like this.
I think that I've like really trained myself, and it's probably like part of the whole, you know, masking for etiquette
No, you
type
have
thing.
so much unmasking to do. I think about this a lot.
My unmasking day.
Genuinely.
I think that there's a lot
I wonder what you're going to be like.
There's a lot that happens when it's just Scott and I. I think Scott gets my most unfiltered self.
I think you get my most unfiltered self.
Unfortunately for Scott.
No, I think Nora gets my most unfiltered self.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seal definitely doesn't get my like full unfiltered self. I think that's because she's just always got the TV on. So I can't be unfiltered because I'm like, I've got my loop earbuds in, like, no one needs to hear the goal. What are you watching on your phone? that kind of thing. So yeah, so you were saying he gets your most unfiltered self.
Did you hear that?
Like a little meow.
No, like a little leaf move.
No, I didn't hear that, but that is so ADHD. But I just think, like, as well, like, unfiltered... Sorry, I moved past it. Like, having an unfiltered conversation, I feel like, is necessary. And you unmasking, I think you've got a long journey. Because I haven't even fully unmasked yet.
I think there's certain circumstances that I never will.
Same. Like customer service. Like, hi, how are you?
Well, so that's what I was going to say. So I think I've been like trained that I need to look at you.
Yeah.
But
I'm looking at your nose.
because I'm like, I'm looking in your direction, but actually I'm looking at like I'm looking at the ketchup quite a lot of this conversation.
Yeah. I keep looking at that leaf now.
Which one moved? So it looks like I'm in your direction.
Yeah. I don't like
But
it
I'm not
though,
staring you.
because people catch it. People, like, even if I'm looking like behind you, like, people will be like, and I'm like, fuck off.
It's also,
You're a dick. If you're pointing out that I'm not looking at you, you're a dick.
I guess the other thing that's really hard for me with this is obviously, I don't know if you remember, obviously my eye is wonky.
What, even more so than they're a dick then? Now they're just taking the piss out of your stigmatism.
People will be like, why are you looking? And then I'm like, shut up.
I mean,
I don't know. I can't control it.
Stop it.
And obviously now, like, since the last surgery, it's like it's back to being really tight and like it can't wander off.
Nice.
But also, is there going to come a day where it starts to wander and I don't realise?
I didn't even realise.
No, because I can't feel it. Oh, sorry. Because I can't feel it.
Right.
And I can't see out of that eye.
You're just going to think they're being a dick for like, okay, I'm not making eye contact, I'm trying to listen to you.
I just like...
And they're like, no, one of your eyes is open.
Yeah, one of your eyes is falling out of your head.
You dropped it. Yeah.
Did you not notice?
The next time we have a conversation, we'll be like, is it weird if your partner picks up your eye? Pooping in the room, fine. Picking up my eyeball, not so fine.
Scott might not be down for that.
I think you would.
This one under the tap.
Oh yeah, that's the stuff.
So next week,
Ooh, I see.
on that eye topic,
I feel like we haven't rounded off the last like episode very well, but equally,
we just can't keep going.
I feel like that's the vibe.
Yeah.
And otherwise, we'll just end up having like really long podcast episodes.
Next week,
We're doing
politics edition.
Politics edition. Basically, coming up because obviously, well, I don't know. Obviously, if you're in the UK, there's a general election coming.
The Jenny leg.
But potentially Nigel Farage.
I can't believe we're not getting back in. So like, I
meant just racist for getting back in.
Oh my god! So I saw this TikTok of like,
Was it Nigel Farage?
no, it was one of the other reformers. No, it was one of the other reformers who was like, he was being asked why he decided to join the Reform Party, and he was like, "Well, I was coming back."
I have one to say after.
He was like, "I was coming back from holiday, and I was at the airport. You know, the UK's borders." And I just saw so many people coming in.
So many foreigners.
And the guy was like, at the airport.
Yeah.
And he was like,
yeah.
yeah, they were coming into our borders. And he was like, but there might be tourists.
How do you know they're not the tourists on a visa?
Or they might like be coming home. And he was like, no, it was too many.
It's too many of them.
Too many.
Also, like, what airport were you at? Maybe they would have crossed over. Layover? Crossover?
You wouldn't be coming out the gates if you were. But regardless, you're at the airport.
Also, I just feel I get really annoyed by people who don't want immigrants in the country.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, why were you not telling your great-great-great-grandparents that then?
But remember, they didn't want immigrants in the country. I know.
No, but they were going into other countries is what my point was.
But this is the
They were
yeah, but this is the big
Oh, we're like expats.
yeah.
We're not immigrants.
We're not immigrants.
We're expats.
We're expats.
Yeah. Also, my one
Yeah.
was that I saw another interview, and it was basically, I believe he was reform. I believe, but basically he was standing outside a church in Stoke-on-Trent, and he was like, just another one of our churches being turned into a mosque. And the guy was like, okay. And he was like, look, they're moving headstones. They're doing this. And basically, no one was going to the church anymore, and they sold it. And it was just it was just like, you know, I don't know, like the local Muslim, like Islamic charity had bought it, and they're going to turn it into a mosque, right? But no one was going to the church. Yeah. It was sold. Also, they're not getting rid of the bodies.
Churches.
I think some of them are like, no, I think they're all private now. I think all of them are private now.
Really? Like,
yeah.
people own churches?
Yeah.
So how do they make money?
Well, it's like charity, isn't it? Same with mosques. It's all charity.
So it's almost, it's kind of like a business.
Yeah,
like someone owns that building.
Yeah.
And then they like fundraise for like the upkeep.
I don't know how it's like for churches, but I definitely think that's what it's like for mosques. But also, it was just in the church that wasn't being used. And like, even then, I think someone had stitched the video anyway, and it was like, this happens across the country. Like,
that's how people live in.
Aren't going to church anymore. And actually, it's like houses that are being made.
That's how like big
they're being converted into fancy houses and stuff, or they're being knocked down and turned into flats.
And like, if I didn't think they were haunted, such a vibe.
No, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, no, they're sort of haunted. But like, if they
but even like for me, like that old
big
style. No, I'm not a fan.
Oh, okay.
I like small and cozy. I'm gonna be under the stairs.
Anyway,
yeah, that was a crazy. Basically, he's a racist.
Yeah.
It was just all it was. It was just he was Islamophobic and racist. And reform is basically Tories number 2. But next week we're talking politics, and guess which side we're leaning on?
Yeah.
At the start of this conversation,
starting up with
we'll try and be not against everyone.
Well, so I guess we're gonna record next week's, and then we will record the next one,
and then we'll know and
then when it
be
comes
really sad
out,
or really happy.
But we will have recorded it before it comes out, because we'll record it on the Tuesday, and it will go live on the Friday, and the Thursday is the election. So on
Maybe
Friday,
we'll rearrange that recording.
But we won't even. We'll see.
Anyway,
we'll work it out.
Crazy politics, wild. We just felt like that was probably we have a lot of things to say.
Yeah.
Also, people should know that you can't get Jeremy Corbyn as an MP.
Really?
No, sorry, not MP. Sorry, Prime Minister. Wrong way around.
I think people know that now.
No, it's going around again. That they're like, Jezza for PM, and people are like, no, that's not how it works. He's working at independent. So basically, what it looks like, people are thinking that they just vote the independent one, and they're going to get Jeremy Corbyn as party. Yeah, it's like that's not how it works.
No. Okay.
Anyway, next week,
Jenny Leck.
Thanks for thanks. Don't say Jenny Leck.
I can't help it.
I hate it.
It's just
so
in my head.
much.
Jenny Leck.
I know. Okay. Anyway.
General election.
Oh, that sounds boring as well, doesn't it? The death of Rishi Sunak. That's a bit morbid.
He's gonna like fuck off to California and have the best time.
Oh, he's not gonna go to California.
Yeah, he is.
One of his other places.
He talks all the time.
One of his other wives' palaces.
He talks all the time about like loving California. Anyway, there's like so much.
To California.
There's so much I have to say about this, and this Peloton history, but I'm gonna like stop.
What?
I'm gonna stop.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop.
Tune in next time for Peloton history of Rishi Sunak.
Love you. Thanks for listening. Bye.